Hi cats and kittens, it's Amy from Save or Salvage Scent. Hope you're doing great. Today I just wanted to talk to you about my favorite, well, all my licorice perfumes. I know that licorice or star anise tend to be polarizing notes. People seem to love them or hate them. I love them. Gosh, if I had to choose a favorite note, I would say licorice is in my top 3. I don't know that I can choose a favorite, but licorice is one. And anyway, I have everything from really, really inexpensive $10, $20 kind of thrills to, I would say most of them are mid kind of range. Anyway, so a little something for everybody, from fresh and fresh licorice to even, I would say, gourmand or really syrupy sweet. Yeah, so let's get going. So I think I'll start with where my licorice love affair started, which would be Lolita Lempicka. Gosh, this is a gorgeous thing. Again, I think people loved it or hated it, but for me, who was kind of coming of age in the 80s, this was just everything I wanted in a perfume. This was one of my first perfumes that I bought myself and loved. I wore it through high school and college. And it's, for those of you who aren't familiar, first of all, I just love the design of this bottle. So beautiful, fairy tale like. And to me, what I get most out of this is violet, powdery, iris, licorice. That's it. Love this thing. Beautiful. And then later, I got the Minuit or midnight version. Sadly, this has been discontinued. Gosh, I love this thing. This is to me one of my, I would think, most sensual or sexiest scents. So take Lolita Lempicka and the original and honestly make it a night version. A lot of things these days will call something noir night, and it is no more dark than anything else. But this really is, I would say, like a dark, dark black licorice. And is there wood and patchouli in this? Yeah, it's just like a darker, more syrupy, thick version of the original. I absolutely love this. Another one of my first favorite perfumes was Bvlgari Jasmin Noir. Another one that was named Noir for a good reason. It really does have I think this is, again, another really sensual perfume. You know what? I haven't worn this for a minute. I'm going to spray some and tell you what I get here. I do love this. This and Samsara were the two perfumes that made me fall in love with Jasmine. It really is, reminds me a little of Samsara, but it's jasmine and then add some other powdery florals and licorice. I mean, there are more things in here, but that's what I get. Another one that's been discontinued, sadly. I have backups of that. I just adore it. That was really college in my 30s. Wore it like crazy, especially if I was going out. Okay. Maybe I'll talk about a few of the old kind of scents that were made years ago that have licorice in them. Guerlain is another great house when it comes to licorice. Some houses completely, I feel like, avoid licorice. Not Guerlain. So, Bleue, this is an old bottle I have here. Bleue has 2 of my favorite top 3 notes. It has lots of carnation. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. And definitely has like I don't know if licorice is a note or if it's just kind of what comes off from the other notes, but this is very carnation, powdery. I think there's iris in here, I'm not positive, but I mostly get carnation, powder, and a little licorice. Just beautiful. Another wonderful Guerlain scent that has a fair amount of licorice in it is Apres Londe, after the rain or the storm, I guess. Oh, now this to me is almost all iris. Very fresh. You can even get some of the ground to me, and then a hint of licorice. Just beautiful. This to me is much more fresh than some of these others that I've talked about so far. Absolutely gorgeous. And then how can you talk about licorice and not talk about Mon Guerlain? Mon Guerlain was, I tried it, I think 2 or 3 times and didn't love it. And then it really grew on me. And it's funny because it reminds me of Lolita Lempicka in some ways, but it took me a while to come around to it. I think what happened, so this is the original Mon Guerlain, the EDP. I think what happened is I fell in love with lavender since. And so this is a very, I think lavender and vanilla go head to head in Mon Guerlain. It's got that powdery Guerlain DNA and then a little licorice. It's just beautiful. This is so beautiful. And it's funny that it took me a while to come around to it because now I absolutely love it. And then I also have the intense version. Gosh, I love the color of this thing. You can tell this is relatively new to me. I got this, I think, last winter. And you know, it's interesting because there are some note differences. It definitely has licorice in it still. And I would say, again, I'm not sure that this is a note. I mean, amber is a composition anyways, pseudo, you know, I don't think amber has a smell. But this is more ambery. That is what makes it different from the original to me. And the licorice, or sorry, the lavender comes out a little more in the intense too. Absolutely love this thing. So this is Mon Guerlain Intense. Oh gosh, another one of my top, I would say this is one of my top 5 favorite scents. This might be my number 1. I call it my number 1 often. This is, Caron is another house that makes licorice scents beautifully. This is Eau de Reglisse. So essentially licorice water. Reglisse is the French word for licorice. And I thought I'd also show you a piece of, this is actually a piece of licorice root that I bought at the market in Nice. And somebody was walking around chewing on them. I'm not gonna do that because this has been in many handbags and in my suitcase coming back and such, but I just thought it was really cool. I still get a tiny bit of the licorice when I smell it. But yeah, this is the real deal here. So Reglisse, this is sadly discontinued. You can still find it though, Caron Eau de Reglisse. This is, imagine a very fresh, not even necessarily hot, maybe a cooled down lemon tea with a lot of licorice. It is so gorgeous. I love this in the heat. I would wear it all year. For a while, this was a true signature scent for me. I think I wore this for a few years and nothing else. I mean, I was just obsessed and I have a few backups. Oh, it's just so nice. It's everything I love. So Caron Eau de Reglisse. I have another Caron in here. Where is it? Aimez Moi is another wonderful Caron scent. As you can see, I've only had this for, gosh, maybe a year or so. Not a big dent in this yet. Oh, this is much fresher. The florals come out, many florals. And then, oh, this is so beautiful. This is just so beautiful. This could be a signature scent, my goodness. This has a hint of licorice in it as well. And it's, I would say this is a much bigger floral composition. Absolutely beautiful. Still pretty affordable too. Aimez Moi by Caron. Oh gosh, okay. Next I'll talk about another favorite house. One of my first scents by Serge or Christopher Sheldrake, the nose, was Bois Vanille. And this is my favorite vanilla. This is the perfect vanilla for me because it is neck to neck vanilla. Oh God, this thing's gorgeous. A little bit of coconut to kind of soften it. Sweet, but not overly sweet. And then licorice. It is just a dream for me. Bois Vanille by Serge and a new splurge for me. I went to Paris recently, and where it used to be the first few times I went to France, I bought perfumes like crazy, and now I'm kind of paring down my collection. But I bought 2 scents while I was there, and one was a bit of a splurge, much cheaper bought in France. But this is my first bell jar by Serge Lutens, and this is Jeux de Peau, which is something I read about forever. It means skin games. Oh, this is just, so Serge Lutens, I'll just say quickly, was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had in a perfume shop. It's so aesthetically like incredible. Every little thing is thought about, every little detail. But if I smelled 20 some perfumes that day, I think I wanted to buy 10. I mean, I loved them all. Honestly, loved them all. But the reason I went with this, there was a Lacombe scent, like a rose Turkish delight scent that I loved. There was that almond scent, the Amande. Oh, it was amazing. I go on and on. The Iris Silver Mist, dear Lord, it's so good. The reason I went with this is because I have nothing else like it. It literally smells like baking bread, like a nuttiness, almost like a hops kind of scent. And then you get licorice too, and I get like a vanilla. And it is just, oh, I have that on today. Wow, it's like nothing else. I mean, artwork, gorgeous. Oh, this is a beautiful, I think really well-priced scent. I also heard this is going out of commission. Seems that, yeah, licorice is not popular. Things I love, frankly, often are not popular. This is by Fragonard. It's called Mon Immortelle. And this has, it's interesting, I just smelled that Jeux de Peau because this has almost like I get almost like a bread baking kind of quality. This is an ambery, earthy licorice. Absolutely gorgeous. Just so beautiful. I think when I purchased this, now this was in France, but I think it was 35 or 40. I thought that was a great price. Beautiful. Why don't I talk about a few cheapies for kicks? I mean, people love or hate good old pink sugar. I love it. I love cotton candy. And it's so funny. I hear from or read about or, listen to YouTubers who, when they talk about this scent, it's funny. There are some people that love pink sugar and then tons of people that are like trying to find pink sugar in another scent, but without the licorice. And I'm like, well, that's part of what I love about this. It is equally cotton candy and licorice, and oh, beautiful, sweet. This is bombastic. People definitely smell you coming and going. I love it. Gorgeous. Let's see. Another one that, if it's still in production, it was inexpensive. I think I paid under $20 for this. This is Lanvin's Me. And in a nutshell, it's interesting because it has two notes or compositions that I don't think are used often. One is blueberry as a note, and then licorice. And I would say this is one of the more fresh licorice focused scents I have. Really interesting. I think this probably would not be a love for a lot of people, but I adore it. Okay. Oh, an oldie, but a goodie. This is what, again, turns a lot of people onto licorice who like it. But again, people are polarized around this scent too. This is Hypnotic Poison. And this is Gourmand Vanilla, baby doll heads, powder, and licorice. This is sexy to me, but it's got an attitude. Feels 80s, 90s. Yeah, it's definitely got that feel. It's not for everybody. Some people find this too, I think, too, but I adore it. This is one of my most recent, this was a gift from my friend Autumn. This is one of the most recent licorice-based scents that I fell in love with, and this could be a signature scent. And sadly, this is also discontinued. This is Maison Margiela Funfair Evening, and this is just perfection to me. It is what you get on the boardwalk, cotton candy, funnel cakes, but you get a little bit of, in the distance, ocean, sea, and you also get licorice. This is just, you get more anise, I would say, than licorice. If there was such a thing as an anise-scented funnel cake with a little bit of seawater in the background. So cool. So sad that was discontinued. It's so expensive now. And I'm so lucky to have some. Another that is kind of, I feel like, out of the box. This has not been discontinued somehow. This is Acqua di Parma. This is from the Mediterranean line, and this is called Mandorlo de Sicilia. And this essentially is pistachio, vanilla, almond, licorice. This is so beautiful. You know, I know a lot of people like this particular newish pistachio scent. It's okay, but this to me, this is it for pistachio scent, because it has a little licorice, little almond, and yeah, it's just so beautiful. This is like what I love about this is it's a light gourmand. Like you can wear this in the summer and it's not too much. It's beautiful. So Acqua di Parma, Mandorlo di Sicilia. Oh, here's another one that I believe has been discontinued. And I'm almost out. You can see, this is one of the first perfumes I spent real money on. I think I got a bonus at work one year and I bought this, I think it was $100 at the time. And now these big bottles for Jo Malone are like, I think 150. This is the Vanilla and Vanille Anise scent. And it's very light, as are a lot of Jo Malone scents. But I'll tell you what, when I first got this, this is my second bottle, come to think of it. I bought a small bottle first, burned through that, and then I bought this. And I just drenched myself in it. And it's one that like, you think maybe it's worn down, and then 5 or 6 hours later, you'll like turn your hair a certain way and it's still there. So this is Jo Malone's Vanille Anise. One more that I would say is a real like niche, phenomenal, out of the box, incredible licorice-based scent. This is by 1,000 Flowers. If you're not familiar, this is a Canadian woman who went to school in Grasse, France, which is where I would say the biggest school to become a nose or perfumer is. And she basically like invested big time to make that move, and then has stayed there and opened up a beautiful perfume house and boutique. She's terrific. Highly recommend going there. This was something I think I read about on Saffler Bon years ago. Won all kinds of awards, Reglisse Noir. It is absolutely beautiful. And this reminds me a bit of the Caron. I get mostly licorice in this. However, it's like the Caron, it's light enough that some of these are really syrupy. This is not. This to me is, you could wear this all year and it would be still great in the summer, but very, very licorice based, like a fresher licorice. Beautiful. And then I'm going to end talking about a few like super affordable indie scents. This is by House of Gloy. It is called Lavender Pear Anise Cake. This is one, it smells exactly like those things. I love all these things. Lavender, pear, a lot of pear. A hint of cake, and not fake, like true bakery, and anise. This is a dream. I think it's about $40 a bottle. And I bought this, maybe even less, and I immediately bought a backup. I was like, this is just so good. It goes in and out of commission, I've noticed, but really good. Great niche perfumery little house, super good. I'm gonna talk about two from my favorite niche house. One is Black Mallow by Solstice Scents. It's just an oil. I don't think she ever made it in the larger perfume. And this truly smells like black jelly beans and vanilla. It's gorgeous. Whatever the perfumer for Solstice Scents, the proprietor, she has this note that it just smells very marshmallowy. And I get like that marshmallow, black jelly beans, and vanilla. It is so beautiful. This goes in and out of commission too. So if it's not on the site now, it might come back. Really phenomenal. I think those are under $20. And it's potent. And then another one, now this is, imagine Hypnotic Poison, but make it gender neutral. I mean, not that any perfume can't be. Wear what you like, friends, for real. And then add some root beer. Yeah, and a little smokiness. This is called Crimson Sap and Sassafras. Sassafras has a licoricey quality. So this smells like homemade root beer. A little bit of musk maybe. And earth. It is gorgeous. Oh, this is talk about out of the box for licorice. It's so good. So good. Solstice Scents, Crimson Sap and Sassafras. Another great indie house is Alchemia. This scent is called the Libertine. I would say if there's a a scent that would normally be marketed to men. I think they do gender neutral marketing, which I love, but this has, to me, there's nothing to me feminine about this. Meanwhile, I love it, wear it. This is green earth, maybe even straw. Oh, and licorice. What else? Is there carnation in this? I don't know. It's not syrupy, super sweet. It's a little sweet, but it's like fresh earth and licorice, the Libertine. It is gorgeous. Absolutely phenomenal. I've shared this with a few people, women and men, and they've all loved it who like licorice. It's phenomenal. And then I'm going to talk about a total cheap thrill that some of you might listen to. I hope all of you listen to because she's amazing. Ruth Ann McKinnon. She has a wonderful YouTube channel. She's been collecting, I think we're around the same age. She's been collecting perfume for a long time. Wears the heck out of her perfumes. She is not about selling stuff and trends. She marches, what is it? She goes by the beat of her own drum. Yeah. And love her. Just so great. And she explores all different kinds of perfumes and mentioned this company one day, and I bought a bunch of things and fell in love. It's called Valerie's Uncommon Scents. Oh, I can't remember if it's just on the internet, if it's Etsy. But anyways, I found the company quickly online just with a Google search, and she does her own things, and then she also does some like inspired by or dupe scents. I think I tried maybe 20 like little samples, and I immediately bought a bunch more. They're so inexpensive. I mean, these, I want to say, like, this was on sale, but I want to say these are, I think, 10 ml, and they were around like $6, $5-6, something like that. She has all kinds of interesting things where she'll dupe like the scent of things in the home. So like different laundry detergents, for instance. I thought that was so interesting. But also she does a great job of duping Lush scents. And I don't feel bad about buying them because either they're so expensive in the US, some of these I cannot get my hands on, or they're really high, or a lot of them have gone out of commission. And so the dupes that I've tried of hers are amazing. And then I just saw that she had on sale this black licorice oil, and man, does this smell. It smells exactly like sticking your nose in a bag of European black licorice, like the strong stuff. It is so good, so good. So Valerie's Uncommon Scents Black Licorice. I would love to hear from you. Do you love licorice? Do you hate it? If you love it, I would love to know what your favorite licorice scents are. Do we have any of the same? Are there any of mine that you're interested in or learning more about? And what don't I own that you think I should check out? I'm sure that I'm missing a few. So have a great day. Talk soon. Peace. Bye.